Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. All right, I have a project for us. We are going to recover the cushions to our furniture that we have out there on the porch. I'm going to actually disassemble this. Most of the zippers have broken. This one didn't for whatever reason. But then what I want to do is use this fabric and create new covers, right? So my plan is to take these off and take them apart and use the fabric here as a pattern. And then I have the pillows. Remember when we did this and we took the upholstery fabric and we hot glued all the edges just to do a real quick cover on these? Look at that. The seams held. So I'm going to say that's actually a really not so bad idea, right? But we have those pillows we need to recover. We have 4 of these. We've got, because I have that bench out there on the porch as well as the new one that we found. So I bought these. I was at Joann's, and our Joann's is closing. I think they all are, but I got everything at a really good price. This whole bolt of fabric was right at $50, and it'll match what we have out there really nicely. But I have that. I have 2 of these big ones, right? So those go on the seat. Then 4 of these, which are the backs. And since I have the extra, I was able to find 3 of these. One just fell, but I have a total of 3 of these, which are giant foam pieces, 22-inch square, 2-inch thick, that maybe I can make another for the bench or for that 3rd couch that we have. It's Tomasi's couch now, but we'll see if I have enough fabric and if this will do it, and we'll see how far this will go. I don't think I'd probably be able to get this fabric again, and I think they're actually closed. But anyways, this is our project. I'm going to put everything to the side. I'm going to set up another table so that I can come in and take the cushions out of these. These cushions are fine, and I just want to, I tried washing them, but you can see they've been stained, bleached by the sun, not really stained. I've tried dyeing them, but most of the zippers have broken, which I can hide that, but it's not a real soft fabric. So I let my husband pick, and he liked the feel of that. So I'm going to literally get my seam ripper out, and I don't know that I'll be able to do this cording effect thing. I'm just like a newbie seamstress, right? Seaming person. So I don't know if I could actually handle making that. Or we'll just have, regular seams there. We'll see how all that turns out, but I have to get it apart so that I can have actual sizes to work from. So that's our project this time around. I just really like that fabric, and this is kind of coarse, even though it's been washed multiple times. This is softer and it's never been washed, so real excited to see what that turns out like and what that looks like on the couches. All right, here we go. This should be interesting. Wonder if I should have got a solid color and just use those for pillows. It's too late now. All right, so I'm gonna go dig out my sewing stuff and not gonna hot glue. I almost thought about hot gluing, but I am gonna sew it, I think. All right, let me go get my stuff and then we will be able to start. All right, let's now begin this long one. We need to make 2 of these. This is the current cushion for the benches, right? Same size for each one. So we will, just like we did with the other one, we will just start removing the seams so we can get our pieces, so we know what sizes we need to make. Seems like a laborious way to do it, but I want them to fit correctly. That's why I'm going to these lengths. All right, we got our 2 cases cut apart. This is what we have left. This is what we're going to use as patterns. How about that? The zippers aren't really salvageable. I'll probably look and see if either one still works. If it does, I'll zip it up and remove it from there. But in the meantime, I want to go ahead and get them cut out, like one set, and sew it up and do a test fit on the cushions and see if this is going to work for us. So we have two of these, one of these, and one of these for the small pillow. So, and we have 4 of these and 2 of the large ones. I'm going to see how much. Let's do the large one first, only because it's going to take more material. I want to make sure I've got enough. Pretty sure I do, but again, this just isn't my forte. I think it would look good this way or this way. So let's see what we have. All right, we got the strip cut from the big piece. So now I'm going to cut the 3 main seat cushions. So, whew, a whole lot of fabric, y'all. Okay, here's our template. All right, so I've measured 3 times. So I cut that first piece short, but look at this. These fit perfect. So these are the smaller backrest cushions. So now I can get the 4 originals, 2 new ones, and all of the little strips out of this piece. Dumb luck. So here we go. Right, we got everything cut out, but I had said I only needed to sew those two sides. I forgot. We're going to have this little width piece in here. So, okay, so with that said, and these are a different size, all right? So there's like a little gathering going on. These are the spare pieces. So there's a little bit of tucking and gathering. So what I'll need to do is cut this edge. Then I'll need to sew this down here on both sides. Sew it on one side, and then I can hot glue that last side to avoid having to use a zipper. Right, because the zipper was the weak link of all of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get everything pinned, and we need to go ahead and get it turned inside out so the right sides will be put together, and then we'll go ahead and cut down the edge and then add our thickness pieces right here. I'm not going to try to do I'm not going to try to do a piping on there. I was trying to remember the word. But this will go here and here. Okay. All right, we have this first set, other than the ones we don't have the width piece for. We are just about there where we can pull out the sewing machine, get it set up, and start stitching these up. How about that? Don't really have a pattern other than the cushion cover that I took apart. Right, and then I had to remember how to put it all back together, so that's where we're at, figuring that piece out. All right, and then that will glue to there, but we got to sew all the edges up. All right, I would need to get the sewing machine out. Let me put the cap on these so we don't make a mess and spill them. I'll get our sewing machine out, get it set up, get it threaded, and then we will start stitching our edges. All right, I am ready to make the long seat cushion for the third bench that doesn't have a cushion right now. So what I'm going to do is, I've got these two pieces of foam. I'm going to go ahead and remove the plastic. Get my foam out. And then I'm going to put a Sharpie line on it, and then go ahead and just hand cut it with my scissors here. That's how I've done it in the past. And then I will end up taping the two pieces together. See how they're not even quite the same. They both say the same size. 22-inch square, 22-inch square. But when you're dealing in big pieces of foam, that's what you get. All right, I think we got it. Shoo, doggies. I think it came out pretty good. It fit on the bench. We've got our glued seam down here. We know that works because I did those pillows, oh, how many months ago, and they're still in fine shape. So here is a cushion for the bench that had no cushion. So there you go. All right, moving on to the next one. I got to get this cleaned up, get stuff get my glue gun turned off and all that kind of stuff. But all right, one down, two to go, and then we got to stuff all the small ones. I need to make 2 more squares, so hopefully that works well. Okay, progress. All right, we're making progress. This one is all the way done, and it's pretty good. All right. Yeah, that's just a fold. Okay, so we're good there. Then I have 3 where I need to hot glue the ends. All right, so that gives us 1 bench, 2 benches. I only have 1 piece of foam and I need 2 more. So I'm gonna get a little creative on this one. I'm gonna cut it out the size that it needs to be. Then I'm going to split the width on this, and then I'm going to hot glue more of this to create the true thickness. Phew, doggies. All right, let's. Wrap it like a package. Miter those corners in, get our packing tape, and then look at that. We have a cushion. Honestly, even with the plastic on there, I mean, I know it's there, but it's kind of hard to see it. Here's the test. And I have to glue in my miter corners here. Flip these, and here we go. And this will be on the back. Perfect. Look at that. Oh, how exciting. Okay, let's make one more of those. And then we'll start hot gluing all of the cases. Even if it's not perfect, it's in the corners of the benches, the little couches. Just trying to make sure I've got it good and closed. Wow, how about that? All right, let's go put these outside and see what they look like. We have managed to recover everything. How about that? All right, let's go see what they look like outside. Well, there are our cushions. They look pretty good. There's the old pillows. So here we are. Phew, that was a challenge, y'all. Now I just got to get the room cleaned up and decide if I'm going to make more pillows, more throw pillows for these benches. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like it, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And well, until next time, happy crafting!